Hi. Um, I know it's been a little while since I made one of these. I'm sorry, but I've been really busy and stuff, and you know, I really wanted to make one of these every week, and I was super excited to start making them and all that shit, and I feel bad because I feel like I could have done a much better job handling this series, and if I wasn't streaming so much and working so much and all that cringe adult stuff, I probably could. But I really abandoned it. I'm sorry, guys. I feel bad, and I know a lot of you really liked listening to it, and you keep fucking asking me, "Hey, where's more? You piece of shit cunt. Where is it?" And I've yet to deliver another one in 3 months. Something that I said I would be making and be transparent the entire time with. I only made 3 of them, so that is 100% my fault. I'm sorry about that, and I'm gonna try to make this more. It's probably coming out of nowhere that another one's being made. I literally just got done with my Pokemon fuckability stream, and I made like a shit post afterwards, and I kind of feel like talking. So, you know, let's talk. So, Drewski, you cunt, where you been this whole time? What have you been doing? Why do you sound so weird? Well, I have been very busy. Um, Streaming, working, and all that. Cringe. I know you guys don't care, but I've been very busy with a lot of things in real life and my passion as a content creator. And it's not necessarily overwhelming or anything. It's just, there's a lot of things that I've had to sacrifice to continue doing what I'm doing. And some of the sacrifices are good, obviously, and others are not so good. A good sacrifice being, oh, I'm sacrificing time where I could like literally be doing nothing to make content and stuff for people to enjoy and watch. I feel like that's a good sacrifice. A lot of people will be like, man, I like you should have more free time, blah blah blah. But to be honest, I like being busy. I like having stuff to do. I don't if I don't have something I'm working towards, or like things go wrong or whatever, I get depressed really fucking fast. I know I've talked about this a couple times, but yeah, I suffer from really bad depression and stuff. So the moment I lose track of my goals, the moment I just stop enjoying myself, and I lose motivation to do content for a little while, I get extremely depressed because as much as people fucking hate to hear it, stopping content for 3 days can kill your relevancy almost instantly. And it's one of the hardest parts about being like a mid-tier content creator. It's like, because when you're mid-tier like I am, you're established, sure, but you have to you have to work your ass off constantly to keep that established viewer base, if that makes sense. Because people are always going to get what they want, and it doesn't matter who they get it from. Now, I understand a lot of people will say, like, my stuff's special. And I believe that. I really do love what I make and what I create and how I express myself and how I play my character and how I do everything. And people can tell I'm just having a really good time. I really do love streaming, guys. It's probably like my favorite thing in the world. I get on there and it feels like I'm a fucking teenager in my acting class again. You know what I mean? It's a very special thing to me, and the fact that so many people look forward to all that, dude, it fucking means the world to me. So, I mean, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for that. It really does mean the world. I cannot express how fucking lucky I am to have that, and I really am so lucky. yeah, even though I've worked hard for it and all that shit, there's people who have worked way fucking harder than me and they haven't gotten near where I'm at. And sometimes I feel, I feel like I don't fucking deserve it because I, the only talent that I really have is like voices, right? Other than that, it's just me acting like a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? I'm just acting like a stupid asshole. And a lot of people say that that's a talent in itself, that almost anything that I can do, I can make entertaining, which I like the fact that people tell me that, and they tell me that so consistently, dude. It just makes me so happy to know that I finally have found something that I'm good at. You know what I mean? I'm going to talk a bit about my history here in a second. But I just want you guys to know that if you're doing content and you really want to grow, you got to find something that you're good at that other people either aren't as good at as you are, or that is just new and unique, and like put your own style on something. It doesn't have to be completely different, but you definitely need to stand out. I think the biggest differentiation between me and some other VTubers is the fact that I'm so transparent and I act such a strange way because of who I am and what I deal with as a diagnosis and stuff. It's a lot of that. My disability, quote unquote, is kind of like a superpower. I sound like Kanye. It's a motherfucking superpower. This ain't no disability. No, shut up, Kanye. It's not a superpower, but I think the reason why I have the ability to be so entertaining and so different than other people is because of my stress and my anxiety and what I've went through as a kid and all that stuff. You know what I mean? I've went through a lot as a young man, and I feel like going through all that changed me, some good, some bad, right? But it made the way I think and act different. It made who I am different. It just changed me as a person. And again, it's not all bad, right? It's not all bad. Not all of it either is from that. Some of it's just natural personality, but humor is something that I've coped on my entire life. And I say cope, and I find that word really funny. I find the word cope really funny. Like when you're playing Overwatch and you fucking kill somebody and they're like, "Oh, you motherfucker," and you're like, "Cope, seethe, mauled." I find the word cope really funny, but cope is definitely the word to express what I used to get through my childhood and to kind of just get through a lot of stuff. A lot of people are like that. A lot of people use like jokes and comedy and stuff to get through things because comedy makes you happy. It makes you smile. It makes you laugh. It makes you feel joy. You know what I mean? And when I was a kid, it was the only thing I would watch because I was just so, I didn't understand at the time, but I was depressed. I had a problem, and I still do. I still have the bad problem, but I use other ways to cope now, such as, streaming and all my content stuff and my Overwatch team and, just playing video games. I found different ways to do it other than just, like, sitting in front of a TV all day. But I still have problems like, fucking cleaning my room or doing my laundry and stuff. It's just, like, sometimes I'm like, dude, I just can't, bro. I just can't fucking do it. I'm literally chilling. And I'm sorry about the birds, by the way. They are going to be a reoccurring factor in these videos. There's nothing I can do about it. But I'll be chilling. Nothing to do. I'll get off a stream. Like, right fucking now, man. I could be doing my laundry right now. I should be doing my laundry right now. But what am I doing? I'm making Let's Talk. Right? It feels like there's not enough hours in the day for this shit. But, again, if I wasn't doing this, I would be doing some other stupid shit. So. But, yeah, really. It's coping on comedy is something that I've done my entire life, and I have not there's Kanye. Hold on. Oh my God. This probably isn't gonna come as a surprise to a lot of people, but I was a weird kid, right? I I acted different. I dressed different. A lot of the way I act, I used to act, I act like that in real life. You know what I mean? The shit that I say, shut the fuck up, Kanye. The shit that I say on stream, guys, like it's it's partially an act. Of course, it's over exaggerated. I think of most of the stuff I say, but that's how I act in real life. I act like that, and that's fucking bizarre for a lot of people, right? A lot of people just can't handle people that act like me, that are so energetic and so like just joking about everything, can't take anything seriously. It pisses people off. And pretty much during my entirety of high school, I was the weirdo. I had friend groups and stuff that fucking like they were quote unquote friends, but they were just fucking assholes. I've had relationships where people dated me and they like didn't like the way I acted in certain situations because they said it was inappropriate, or I didn't do anything bad. It's just I just have a hard time taking stuff seriously. Whenever I get stressed out, I get uncomfortable. I crack jokes. That's just who I am. A lot of people can't handle that. I am always the person trying to make something funny, especially things that are sensitive and stuff. I have a problem where I try to make everything funny, so I do that too. It's just some people don't understand that people like me are like this because we we have a hard time being happy. So one of the only ways for me to feel happiness and joy and for me to, laugh is to crack jokes and act like a fucking idiot. And part of it is I want other people to laugh with me, but 90% of the time in real life, people are laughing at you. And it's something that I dealt with pretty much my entire life, all the way from elementary school to fucking middle school to high school. When I was a kid, um, I was I was like the crazy kid. I was the kid that they put on the meds. I was the kid that would throw chairs in the fucking school. I was the kid who pretty much everybody said wasn't going to be able to do anything. I was like the failure kid, like the kid that isn't going to do shit with himself and is going to grow up to be a deadbeat drug addict and all that. And I wasn't treated fairly by the schools and stuff, and a lot of that reflects on me today because there's like some common skills that I should have learned when I was a kid that I didn't, like how to write properly. You guys have never seen my handwriting, obviously, but one of the things that I'm extremely extremely self-conscious about is my handwriting, because I actually have the handwriting of a fucking 4-year-old. That's because I self-taught myself how to write when I turned like 14, 15, because when I was a kid, I could never sit down and do it. I hated to fucking write. It hurt my hand, it hurt my wrist, blah, blah, blah. And the reason it did that is because I actually found out I have extremely sensitive skin. So the paper would give me rashes and stuff. So instead of people trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong, you have this 4 or 5-year-old kid pressing down on this paper and then his hand starts to sting and he doesn't understand why. What the fuck do you think's gonna happen? So they just basically said, oh fuck, trying to teach him how to write, we'll try and teach him other shit. And of course it includes pen and paper, so it would hurt and I would hate it. Yeah, I had a pretty troublesome time growing up. um, when I was around 10 or 11, I got taken from my mom and dad because of some drug stuff. Um, this really isn't like a ton of people's business, obviously. This is my business, and I'm choosing to share this. But my mom and my dad and a lot of my family were addicts. And that's something that has scared the shit out of me my entire life. Imagine being like this really young kid and you get woken up and you just get taken away from your home. You don't know why. All your shit, you just leave all your stuff, right? You just leave all your stuff and you you disappear and you're not home anymore, you know? Sorry, I got a little cracked up. I was kind of having like a little bit of a flashback about it, but yeah, you just wake up and it's like, oh hey, I guess I'm not fucking home anymore, you know. So, and then I wasn't allowed to see my mom or my dad, and eventually, I forget the timeline, but I stayed there. I stayed with them for a while, and I stayed with my grandma. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. I went to my grandma's. I got forced to go to my grandma's, and I lived with her for a really long time, and she was a fucking psychopath, and my step grandpa didn't like us, so it was just, man, it was just a bad situation, and we were a nuisance. When I say we, I mean me and my sister. I do have a sister. We were a nuisance, and that's how I felt. I always felt like a nuisance, so I guess it was normal, right? Eventually, after a few years, I moved in with my father. He had gotten out of jail. He did the shit to take custody of us, and we lived with him. It lasted a fat maybe year, and I was now a middle schooler at this time. And I got pretty harshly bullied in the middle school that I went to. It was a completely new school. Nobody knew me. It didn't matter. I still went through a lot of shit, and you know, I was overweight as a kid. I've been overweight pretty much my entire life, and it's been something that I've struggled with a really long time. Losing weight's hard, especially when you have a really bad metabolism. And as a kid, I just had a really bad one, man. I was a really chubby kid, and I started to really cope with all this shit going on around me with video games and like the Xbox and stuff, right? And I had a feeling I knew what was going on around me with my father. You know, he was on the shit again, and my stepmom was on the shit again, and there was random people in my house all the time. And school life wasn't better because I would go to school and I was dirty and I stunk and I didn't shower and I had curly ass hair that was greasy all the time. There's all these signs that things are going on in people's lives that just, some people just don't fucking care. Like if I was a teacher and I saw a kid going to school with super long hair, he stunk all the time because he never showered, stuff like that, I think I would try to do something. It's obvious. It's an obvious sign that things at home aren't great. You know what I mean? But I guess some people just don't really care. But yeah, I fucking hated that middle school. I was forced to go every day. I got in the fights on the bus. I got in the fights at school. Like I feel like I got into so many fights, but I did have a couple good friends that I just neglected because I hated it there, right? I would rather play on the Xbox and fuck around in video games than be in real life. And I know a lot of you guys can agree with that. A lot of us use electronics and media and all that to suppress the pain that's going on in our real lives. No matter how hard it is or whatever you're going through, maybe it's just like your school life sucks because you have so much homework. You still do it. Everybody does it, and I almost wish we didn't have it so that we'd be forced to deal with these problems, because the only way to solve a problem is to deal with it and to actually do something about it. But here we go, right? We get home, we hop on the fucking video game, and that's all we do. But anyways, continuing with what I was saying. After about a year of this, in the summertime. Now, this is kind of repressed. I don't 100% remember this, but I got sent back to my grandma's. And I lived there with my mom for a while. And for a while, I mean, like, until I was, like, pretty much in high school. Like, freshman year, we eventually moved out. But, again, my grandma was a psychopath. My mom, also a psychopath. My grandpa didn't like us, didn't want anything to do with us. So eventually my mom fought with my grandma so much, and she fought with my step grandpa so bad that she got kicked out, right? So that was one person gone. But it was still a bad situation because my mom is a psycho bitch, and so is my step grandpa. He did not like us very much. He was like, okay, excuse me. He was a good guy, but he obviously he showed that he did not want to take care of us. He'd call my sister a cunt. He'd call her fucking names and shit. He'd call me a lazy piece of shit because all I did was play on the video games, right? He did not like us. And it was so ironic to me, too, because all he would do is sit on the fucking couch and play and watch TV, and he would call me a lazy fuck because all I did was sit on the video games. But he said it was different, right? He said that him watching his old shows and shit was different than me watching the TV or than me playing the video games. Which, step grandpa, I know you're dead, but you're a fucking retard. Anyways, so skipping forward again a little more, we eventually got a house, and I was now a freshman, and I was going back. Oh wait, no, yeah, I was going back to the school. Oh no, okay, so it was 8th grade. It was 8th grade now. So I went back to the school that I was supposed to go to when I lived in the other area, right? And bro, it was a bad situation. People remembered who I was because I was the kid who threw fucking chairs and shit, right? And I'm not gonna lie, I was a fucking, like, at this point in time, dude, I was an emo kid. Like, I really was. Like, I still love that culture because it made me feel like I belonged somewhere. It made me feel like I belonged somewhere with all the other kids who got fucking picked on and had to deal with all this shit. You know what I mean? It made me feel like I actually truly belonged with a group of people. We were outcasts. We had no friends. We fucking, you know what I mean? So I was part of that group of kids. And that's just how it was. For a long time. I was part of that group of kids. We did stupid shit. We fucking hated everybody. It's just, it's what it was, right? I was a kid. I fucking hated them all. But eventually I grew, and in freshman year I went to a high school, and the high school, you know, has a mix of like all the kids from all the middle schools around and shit. And I think my first year of high school was one of the most difficult years that I had ever went through. I had no friends. I hated going every day. The teachers didn't like me. The kids didn't like me. I got picked on. I got into fights. I just did a lot of stupid shit. It wasn't necessarily my fault, but again, I just hated it there. And then sophomore year, things started to pick up a little bit for me. I had like a friend group. I had met some people. I was kind of coming out of my shell a little bit, but I was still me, right? I was still Drew. I still acted weird and stuff, and people just didn't understand how I acted and didn't like how I acted and thought I acted childish and stupid and annoying and all that stupid shit. And I got called retarded because, you know, I was the weird kid, right? I got called retarded and all that, whatever. But it was junior year where things really took a dark turn for me in my life. And it's when I eventually found out that I had really bad depression. And it got so bad to the point where I was always anxious. So I loved to swim when I was a junior. I've always loved to swim. I fucking love swimming. Swimming is great, guys. But I took a lifeguarding course. And during that lifeguarding course, people berated me for the way I looked. They were awful to me. And it fucking destroyed my mentality. They told me I'd never be able to be a lifeguard because I was chubby. and it killed my morale because I loved to swim. I wanted to be a lifeguard. I wanted to help people. I wanted to save people when they're drowning and shit. You know what I mean? I had good intentions for that, and people just made fun of me for it. They called me a fucking faggot and all that, blah blah blah. So eventually, it got so bad to where one day when I went to school, I had to go to the bathroom, and I had a panic attack in the bathroom, and it was one of the most frightening things I have ever had happen to me. I've never been more scared in my entire life. If you've ever had a panic attack, it doesn't really matter what level it was, right? It doesn't matter what level it is. You guys know how scary that shit is. And that is something that I relive sometimes when I sleep. I will relive my panic attack in the bathroom. That's how much of like a core memory it was. You guys ever seen that movie? Yeah. It was like that. It was a fucking core memory. I had a panic attack, and they're like, oh, a little ball. Let's fucking put this little ball in the storage and make him dream of it every night. It's gonna alter his personality. That's what happened to me. I had one of those, and it bro, it's a core memory. Very cool. But after that, I started missing a lot of school because I got so depressed, so anxious, that I just felt like it wasn't worth it anymore. I felt like I wasn't going anywhere in my life. I felt like I wouldn't be able to do anything. I felt like I wouldn't be able to graduate. I felt like when I became an adult, I would be useless. So I planned to kill myself. And this might sound crazy to some people because a lot of you guys would never guess this from me. I know the way I act and stuff, you would never in a million years guess that shit like this is going on in my brain, right? You would never guess that shit like that could have ever happened to me, but it's true. I felt like I had it so rough, so bad. I had nobody I could talk to. I had nobody that truly wanted to be my friend. I had nobody that I could truly just speak to about things, and I just wanted to end it. I was so sick of it. I couldn't talk to my mom because all she did was berate me and yell at me for having bad grades and missing school. I couldn't talk to my stepdad because he was a drunk all the time. I couldn't talk to my real dad because he just didn't understand. He still doesn't understand to this day what I go through, right? I couldn't talk to my sister because she was just too young and I didn't want to put that pressure on her. I was alone. And I felt like it wasn't worth it anymore. So I wrote up a note and I sent an email to one of my favorite teachers at the school that I just couldn't take it anymore. And within 15 fucking minutes, within like 10 minutes, my mom called me. And she told me that she was told that I sent that note to my aide, and she was coming home because they couldn't trust me to be by myself or whatever. And I was freaking the fuck out because I thought she was gonna like come home and bitch at me or whatever. So then she did get home, and then eventually police arrived at my house, and they talked to me, and I talked to them, and I cried and all that shit, and I pretty much told them what I'm telling you guys is like I was just alone. I didn't know what to do. It's been like this for years, and I just couldn't take it anymore. And it's gotten to the point where I just don't want to deal with it, right? And this might sound fucking crazy, you guys. Again, you'd never guess, right? You'd never fucking guess. But hey, I'm still here, so. But they sent me to an inpatient institution for mental health, and I am happy I went. A lot of people who deal with this kind of thing, I feel like a lot of people want help, but they don't know how to receive it. A lot of people want to feel better, but they're not willing to put in the work to feel better. The only thing that I wanted in life when I was going through all that was to feel better. It's the thing that I've always yearned for. I've always wanted to just feel normal. I don't want to wake up every day either being bipolar, super happy, crazy, oh my god, let's live our life and enjoy it until it ends, or super depressed, like, man, I just hate being alive, I'm just gonna lay in bed all day. It happens to me every fucking day. Every day I wake up a different goddamn person, dude, I'm telling you. But when I went to that institution, I did my fucking best to get as much help as I could. I took notes. I I did as much as I could. I tried to make as many friends as I could. I was the only guy there. There was just like a million girls, so they just fucking. I was the only guy there, so I just made a million friends because a bunch of teenage girls are all fucking horny, but I didn't like any of them. So to me, I was like, wait a second. I always thought I was unattractive, right? But that all these fucking chicks were all over me. I'm not bragging. I'm sorry, but I'm just saying is that I was always told that I was a super fucking disgusting, unattractive piece of shit guy that nobody likes. But then I go here and people treat me like a fucking person. I never had that. It was crazy to me. I remember I was fucking dumbfounded by the way I was treated there, by my peers, by the people that were in charge, by everybody. I wasn't being berated for the first time in my fucking life. And I don't think you guys understand how crazy that was to me, because everybody in my life up to this point treated me like shit, right? And I will openly fucking say that. I don't care what the fuck anybody else says. I was treated like shit up until this point in my life. This was the first time I felt like I received genuine kindness. And I understood that these people were paid to do this shit. I understood that. But they were all genuine, and they all made me, they all helped me. I felt like they really wanted to help me. I would take them out like aside and ask them questions, and in the middle of the night, if I needed help, they would help me with something. They helped me with my schoolwork, you know. It was just like, it was kindness that I never fucking received in my entire life, and it was such an important moment for me because it made me realize that there are people out there who give a fuck about who you are and they don't want to see you fail, you know? And I think a lot of you guys need to realize that too. That there are people out there who want to see you succeed. Even if they aren't in your immediate area, they could be anywhere, you know? And I know what it's like to have shitty friends. I understand. The best friends I've ever had were online. And even some of those fucking guys were pieces of shit to me, right? Because of the way I acted. Even online, my voice, the way I talked, all the stupid voices I would do all the time that, by the way, used to not be very good. The only reason I'm so good at this shit is because I've been doing it my whole life. All the voices and vocals that I do, the only reason I'm so good at swapping my voice on a fucking fly like that, guys, is because that has been how I coped my entire life. You know, I used to pretend to be a girl on Xbox when I was a kid. I was that kid. Okay, I was that guy. I used to pretend to be a girl on Xbox because people would want to talk to me then. Okay? I'm not going to lie when I say it got pathetic, but you really just need to realize that people do care about you. And if you need help with that kind of thing, you need to seek it, because it's only going to get worse. And I wish I would have gotten help before, but it's only going to get worse. But anyways, I eventually got out of the hospital, and I was prescribed a fucking, like, a Prozac. And if you guys know anything about Prozac, you know how that is. So I was then in outpatient program for a while. And again, I loved that fucking program because I would go there and I would feel like a fucking human being. You know what I mean? I would go there and I would enjoy myself because people wanted to talk to me, and the kids were nice because everybody was going through the same shit. And it was just fucking, it was amazing. And I would never trade going to those places for anything. I know a lot of people would be like, oh, my therapy didn't help me, or, oh, this didn't do shit for me, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? I feel like a lot of people just aren't fucking trying. I feel like a lot of people just want, like, the instant snap answer. And you know what? If you actually deal with this shit, you understand that it takes time to heal. That you can't just immediately fucking... Hold on. There is no easy, instantaneous solution for these problems that go on in your mind. When you cut yourself, you can put a Band-Aid on it, and your body will heal it within a week, right? If you get hit by something, your body will bruise it, and eventually it will heal. Mental health does the exact same thing, but it takes 1,000% more time. And people, again, they just want this instantaneous way out, and I fucking get it, dude. I did too, and that's why they put me on a Prozac. But the problem is the Prozac is an addictive drug. So after 3 or 4 months, it stopped working. And we'll get into that real quick. But at this outpatient resort thing that I was going to after school and stuff, and being driven there and all that shit, they eventually kicked me out. Why? Because of insurance issues. That hurt me again. It made me feel like the only reason they were helping me was because of money, all this shit, dude. And you might be like, wow, you tried to make all that progress and then that one thing fucked you up. That's how it works. That's how it happens. Everything can be fine, and then you fucking spill your drink at the bar and people laugh at you. And that could be like the thing that fucks you over for the next month and a half, right? So I eventually got a significant other, and I really did love this person, and we did everything together. This was the first person that I had ever dated, that I had ever, slept with, shit like that. And I loved this person to fucking death. I did everything with this person, man. This was when I was about 17-ish. And I grew with this person, and this person also dealt with a lot of problems, and I wanted to help them. I wanted to help them get through it. And the way we met was a clusterfuck and all that, but it didn't matter to us because we had each other, and I had never had a best friend. So sometimes I would say stuff that was kind of mean, and I didn't understand what I was saying, and it would hurt their feelings, and I'd feel bad. Obviously I have social issues because I've never really been a social person. It might seem like I'm a very social guy online, but I have a really hard time connecting with people because I've never been able to my entire life. I've always kind of been shunned. I've always been like a loner, you know what I mean? And it's just how it is. It's just who I am. I can't stop it. I still, to this day, when I'm talking to somebody, I still say stupid shit. I still make stupid jokes. I say dumb stuff. I act weird. It's just who I am, and I've come to accept that I'm a fucking different person, and that's just how I am. I'm just different, and I hate it, but I also love it for a multitude of reasons, but we'll get into them. But me and this person dated for a long time, and I say a long time, but it was probably more like 8-9 months. That's a long time to me. Being friends with somebody that long, that's a long time. Especially like a friend in person. I have a couple friends that I've known for years, but they're all online friends, right? And I've got some friends now, but that's besides the point. We dated for a while, and eventually, when I ran out of my medicine, I kind of fell into a pit. And I warned this person that it was going to happen, and that I was going to have a really hard time being happy, and I might go off, and I might just be irritable, and, it happened, guys. And I'm not going to say 100% that I was 100% in the right of this situation, but you got to hear me out, right? But me and this person, we decided to take a break. And they were going to drive to Florida to meet their family or whatever, and I was pretty scared of this because I was afraid of being like cheated on and shit. So I wished them well, and I waited for them to get back. I remember I called them while they were driving there, and they told me that they didn't want to talk to me while they were there, and I said fine, I guess, but I miss you and shit, And they hung up, and I was sad for a while. I worked a full-time job at this point. I was an adult. I was 18. I worked really hard. I lived with my dad at this point now because my mom kicked me out of the house when I turned 18, and I was homeless for a little while, but eventually my dad took me in, and that's where I've been living ever since. But I after about a week, they came back, and they were acting weird. I was really happy to see them. I was hugging them and shit. I was so happy to have my favorite person in the whole world back. And they told me that they were sexually assaulted. And my heart dropped. Because I knew it was bullshit. I asked some questions about it. They pretty much told me what I already knew. And then they pretty much they said that they were blacked out drunk and they had sex with the person. But here's the thing. They also admitted, see, we played Warframe at the time, and this person was part of a clan. And they had met somebody online that was like the clan leader or whatever. And they had actually lied to me and said that they were going to see their family. But they went all the way there to Florida, by the way. I'm not going to say where I live, but they drove to Florida, which is a pretty far drive from where I fucking live. And they were just going to hang out with them. So, obviously, as you can hear, I was pretty upset by this. And, I didn't know what to do. So the next day, I went to work like normal, and I just kept crying. I remember it's the saddest I've ever been in my entire life. I went to work. I tried my best to act normal, and then I would go like into the freezer or something. I'd just start fucking bawling my eyes out. And one of my coworkers at the time, I went to talk to them about this because they were training me to become like a lead manager of the store and stuff. And I just lost it and fucking cried and told this dude what happened, and he just he tried to help me out, but I was just beyond saving at the point. He knew the person as well because they had worked there. I actually had gotten them a job there, but they got fired because they were being homophobic to one of the gay people that worked there. Yeah, who would have thought? But yeah, so not really homophobic, but like they said something about somebody that I knew and the guy like having gay sex because they were always talking or some shit. Basically, they got angry at them and said some stupid fucking shit in the Snapchat group chat, and they got fired for it. It was pretty entertaining, but whatever. And I forget if I got to go home early. I did get to go home early. I did go home early, and I told my dad. And I've never seen that man cry in my entire life, right? I've never seen my dad fucking break down in tears. I've seen it. I guess I've seen it like one other time. No, I've never seen my dad cry like this. And he fucking, I saw him break down in tears, and he was just so angry that his son was going through something like this. I told him what happened. I told him how they drove to Florida and fucking were quote unquote sexually assaulted and all that stuff, and he was just so fucking angry because he knew the kind of person I was and just how much I've been through and all the bullshit that we've been through in our lives and how hard I've been working on improving myself and getting myself back on track. And he just fucking, dude, he was so fucking pissed off. And I eventually lost my job because I stopped going because I was so depressed I couldn't do anything. I did a bunch of stupid stuff that I'm not proud of. afterwards to cope with it, and I just pretty much became a deadbeat for 2 years. I I didn't do anything. I just stopped living. I tried to get back on my feet multiple times. My dad always told me, he's like, you don't need to get a job, just heal. You know what I mean? Just heal. Just try your best to heal. And normal people can heal. People like me, it takes us a very long time to get back on our feet. Especially with the fact that I was no longer on my Prozac because I had lost it. I had lost the prescription because I was no longer a child and couldn't get it anymore. I didn't have insurance. I was broken. I didn't know what to do. I was back in the state that I was all those years ago. Well, not all those years ago, really. It was only like a year. But I was back to that state where I felt hopeless. And I felt like I wasn't going to go anywhere in life, and I wanted to kill myself. And I felt this way for years. Recently, about 10 months ago, voice acting. I should talk about that. During that time, I decided to try and put my acting skills and stuff to use by becoming a voice actor. And being a voice actor was one of the most upsetting, ridiculously stupid, and irritating things I've ever went through in my entire life. I hate voice actors. And I wish nothing but bad things on most of the people that I met when I was a voice actor. People were awful to me. Who would have thought? I was a guy who just started getting into it. I had lots of things to learn, but lots of natural talent. And because I didn't have these resources, and because I didn't have these friends that were already in the business, a lot of people took advantage of my voice. A lot of people just treated me like shit, mistreated me, promised me things that they never delivered, made me pay for things that I didn't need, tricked me into doing things that I didn't want to do. Just all this stuff that I went through when I was a voice actor, but I just kept on pushing because I wanted to be the voice of characters and bring shit to life and make people happy and make people smile. All those video games that I've played where I've laughed and I've giggled at people talking, and all those movies that I've watched where I love the characters and anime and stuff. I wanted to do that. I wanted to be the reason why you cried. I wanted to be the reason why you laughed. I wanted to be able to portray characters in a way that other people just could not. And I really felt like I had that talent to do it. And to be honest with you, I do have that talent to do it, which is proof of where I am now, but we'll get to that. For those years, my dad told me it would never work out, blah, blah, blah. People told me I was wasting my time. Everybody told me I was fucking doing nothing with myself, that everything I was doing was stupid, that literally I was wasting my fucking time. I had good friends who didn't believe in that. They thought that it was fine that I was pursuing what I fucking wanted to, and they were proud that I was doing it. But the thing is it doesn't matter what you're pursuing and how happy you are while you're doing it. If you're not making a fucking paycheck, you're not validated, right? If you don't have a Twitter fucking account with a check mark on it, you're not validated. And that's what broke me the hardest, was the fact that people didn't validate me as a person because I wasn't making a ton of money off of it. I remember when I got my first ever gig. It was for a video game. And I was so fucking happy. I told everybody about it. And my dad said, "How much money did you make off of it?" And I'm like, "I made $100 off of it." And he's like, "So you've been doing this for 8 months and you only made $100. And that just killed my motivation. But I just kept going because I wanted to prove him wrong. And my dad is... He has good intentions when he says this stuff. I know I'm making it seem like he's just a fucking cunt, which he kind of is a cunt, to be honest. He's a good cunt, right? But he just wanted me to do something else. He wanted me to find something that actually made money. And I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, right? And I know that sounds stupid, like, bro, you gotta be making money, and I know that now. Okay, I do. I know that now. I have a full-time job that I work 58 hours a fucking week, and I stream. Okay, I understand. You don't have to waste your fucking breath on me, bro. I get it. But at the end of the day, I really did believe that I could do it. And I think if circumstances were different and people were different and all this stuff, I could have done it. I still think I can do it. If I ever wanted to go back to voice acting, I feel like I could. But why the fuck would I want to do that when I have what I have now? So, after all that time, I did make some money, and I did make some connections and stuff, but again, man, it's just people trying to fucking take your money and make you pay for shit that you don't need. So I started losing hope again, and I started getting jobs, and I would only have the job for like a couple weeks. I remember I got this job at this really shitty place because I needed to pay off a speeding ticket, or like a ticket for running a stop sign that I got, that I didn't even run the stop sign, but I got the ticket anyway. I remember barely having enough money for gas and having to ask my dad for money all the time and just being so fucking embarrassed by it and all this shit. But then about a year ago, I met Pants a Hat, and you guys might think this is weird that I'm talking about this, but I'm gonna talk about it. I met Pants a Hat, and I thought his videos were really funny and stuff. So I asked him, I'm like, hey, you got any openings? I'm a voice actor. I do stuff, obviously I have no credit, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, can you do a femboy voice? And I'm like, sure. So I did. And he really liked the voice. And I'm like, all right, cool. How much are you going to pay me for it? $5. This dude was going to pay me $5 for this video that got 1 million and like a couple 100,000 views in a few days. And I just remember how cheated out I felt by that shit. And I still do. I'm still so irritated by it. But it was whatever. I was in the video, right? And I was happy about it. I got my credit, blah, blah, blah. And, yeah, that was that. And as time went on, I remember I made some random fucking videos myself. Like, I made a couple shit posts here and there, like femboy shit posts, because I really like that kind of stuff. And it started gaining traction. And I remember when I actually went on a vacation when my videos started popping off. It was so funny. I was working at this really shitty place, and all of a sudden my YouTube just started exploding. Like, I'm talking like 300 views a day, and I was like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. Holy shit, this is so awesome. And I was watching the comments, and like I got sent out to Arizona and stuff for vacation, and I was just fucking peeled to my phone the whole time, watching my subscriber count and stuff. And I was just so fucking amazed that people actually liked my voice, that people wanted to hear more of my memes, and they thought I was so funny, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. So I kept doing it. And at this time, Pants was working on another video, blah, blah, blah. Me and him used to talk a lot. But Pants was very, very rude to me all the time. He just wasn't very nice. And I don't know why. I think it's because he's just a narcissistic cunt. But he was just a fucking asshole. And this isn't like a taking down Pants. This is just my personal experience. So I know other people don't have that experience with him for whatever reason. He decided I was the person, just like I'm everybody's person. But he decided I was the person. And I met a couple other people with him. Funny enough, I actually got all of these people together because of me, by the way, because I wanted to be friends with him and hang out with him, and I wanted to hang out with the other voice actors and stuff. So I actually brought these people in together and then they decided to just like stop talking to me, which really pissed me off. I remember I was pretty upset about it for a while. I was doing my own thing with my own YouTube channel, having a lot of fun, making stupid fucking memes and stuff. Like, so unbelievably impressed by the fact that people actually enjoyed my stuff. And I eventually just like removed them from my private server because I didn't want to talk to them anymore, and they were just so surprised that I would do that. And it was kind of like, you got a lot of balls to fucking do that. And whatever, I'm gonna stop talking about them. They're pretty irrelevant to what I'm talking about. But basically, what I'm saying is, I was so unbelievably surprised that people actually liked me, that people actually enjoyed what I was making and wanted more. So when that happened, you bet your fucking ass I made more. I made as much as I could. I did my best to make it funny. I love to voice act like the trap voice because it's just such a cute and sexy voice that I like to do. You know what I mean? It's what I like. I like to talk like that. I normally like talk kind of like that, but I kept doing it, and as time went on, I kind of stopped enjoying that. Obviously, you know that already probably, but I stopped enjoying that, and I wanted to become a full-time like VTuber streamer guy. And I'm not gonna lie, for a while it was looking bad as I was going full-time streaming and stuff. My YouTube views dropped a lot. They're still pretty down because people subscribed for the memes. People subscribed for the femboy memes. But what people don't understand is there's only so many ways I can say bussy and make it funny. You know what I mean? If I'm not actually doing this skit on stream, or if I just don't have like this incredible idea, it was impossible for me to fucking shit out one of those videos every week. It just felt so samey to me. It felt so easy. It felt like, because I mastered the algorithm. I knew exactly what I had to do and exactly how I could get it. And you guys will see, if I still know how to do it. If you guys go and look at my shit posts, you guys will see, oh fuck, the ones about traps are really fucking hitting the algorithm because I know how to do it. I'm not stupid. I got good at that shit. I got good at that shit really fucking fast. I knew how to make thumbnails that would pop out and stuff, and names for videos that would pop out, blah blah blah, whatever. But I made these stupid ass fucking videos, and I loved doing it, but then I eventually stopped loving doing it. So I switched, right? And I'm always going to be the kind of person that says, do what you want to do, right? Do I regret it sometimes? Yes. Because I know that if I kept making the same stale bullshit over and over and over again, nonstop, then I could probably be at like 200K right now, right? Easily. If I kept making one of those videos every fucking week, I could probably be a full-time YouTuber right now. Just making that shit. Just throwing one of those together once every 2 days and uploading it. But why? If you don't enjoy it, why would you do that? Right? And that's what I thought. I thought, I really don't enjoy this anymore. I think I'm going to switch. I'm going to change what I'm doing. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to, because I had actually been streaming already. It's just I made the transition to full streamer, and the reception for that was pretty good for a while. It was pretty decent, but I got like 400, 500 views from it. Dude, I had like 39,000 fucking subscribers. Think about that. I had 39,000, like almost 40K, and I only got like 500 follows from it, right? It wasn't a lot. And when I hit 40K, it's taken me like 4 months to hit 50K. Think about that. I went from nothing to 40K within 4 months. Within 4 months, right? That's like 10,000 fucking subscribers a month. Okay, if I could have kept that up for like a year or 2 years, I would be an established content creator, right? But I didn't want to because I didn't like it anymore. I'll say it again. I just didn't like it anymore. So I started streaming, and the streaming wasn't going very great. It wasn't going very great for a while. As I was making my VTuber and stuff, I was getting money for it. You know, the thing about success, guys, is in order to succeed, you need to take risks. You need to take risks. You need to do things that can hurt you or help you. And by taking the risk to become a streamer, there were two things that were going to happen to me that I knew would happen. I was going to go down in the YouTube algorithm because I was not going to be uploading the videos that people knew me for, that people still know me for, the foundation of what makes my content even now. I was going to stop doing. And even though I still do it here and there, it will never, ever be like it used to be, because I don't make those kind of videos a lot anymore. And when I do, it's on a rare occasion when I'm just bored and I think it would be funny. And I don't really use the femboy voice anymore. Have you guys noticed that? I kind of scarcely use it because it's not 100% what I want to be known for. I want to be known for being an entertaining VTuber. I want to be known for being an entertaining streamer. I don't want to be known for these YouTube videos. I mean, they're great and all. I love my YouTube videos, but they're not 100% what I want people to know Drewski for, right? And again, a problem with taking risks is sometimes the risks have no reward. And for a while, I was getting no reward streaming. I was struggling. I was having some mental health problems because it was going so fucking bad. And I eventually took a small break because of my VTuber. And then, after 4 or 5 months of waiting, I eventually got my VTuber. Which, by the way, the waiting really sucked because my rigger is just like, and they fucking rushed my model too. Like, I've talked about this already, but my model maker was such a fucking nuisance to me. Like, I would ask questions or ask to see stuff, and they would always give me sparse fucking answers and shit. That's why I really wish you could not credit people, but I know I need to, and I would feel bad if I didn't. But this is why when somebody does something for me and I love it, I will back them up forever. I will say, oh my God, this person does such a good job, blah, blah, blah. But if you deliver me a shit fucking product or you don't do your goddamn job, you bet your goddamn ass I'm fucking telling people that you suck. Because this person, they sucked. I hated it. They did a good job at the end. Like, in the end, the model looks fine. You guys love the model. I love the model. But at the end of the day, the model was late. It was rushed. And it had numerous fucking problems. But anyway, I digress. I got my model, and I did my debut. My debut was one of the best days of my life. And it got taken from me by Twitch. Now, if you guys can probably imagine what it feels like to work on something so hard, try to get something so quality, but also still have your charm in it for months upon months, just to have it get fucking ripped away from you. Like you're a kid with a lollipop, and some old man takes it, shoves it up his ass, and then shoves it back in your mouth, and then starts to eat it. Right? That's how it felt. It felt like a fucking kid at a candy shop who just bought a couple fucking lollipops, and this old dude just pulls up, shoves it in his fucking cock socket, and then puts it in your mouth. He's like, oh, here you go. Because I know why? They took me off, and then after getting the appeal and, you know, being irrelevant for a week because streaming was my content. So I had to go back to fucking YouTube and I had to make clips and shit to hope that people wouldn't fucking forget about the new VTuber that just spawned that already got banned, right? People were like, oh, it sucks you got banned. Oh, well, I was really looking forward to your content, right? People forget about you. The people do not remember people forever, okay? I forget the people that I watched fucking 2 days ago as well. Everybody does this. That's why you need to be consistent. When you get banned on your debut, that consistency, that hype, that new feeling, it vanishes. Because you're gone. You fucking vanish off the face of the earth. If my Twitch channel disappeared right now and I had to make a new one, I would fall into irrelevancy within a week or two. People would forget about me. People will say that wouldn't happen. Bull fucking shit. It would happen. Because it's happened before. It's happened to people way larger than me. They have to make new accounts. They don't show up on the follow list anymore. People don't go, oh, where'd that guy go? Not everybody does that. Sometimes you're just going through your follow list and you're like, oh, that's right. I followed that guy. I should watch him. Oh, I haven't seen him stream in a little bit. What's he up to? Right? The only reason you remember is because you see somebody streaming. If my Twitch account was permanently banned for whatever reason, I would vanish within a week. Nobody would remember me, blah, blah, blah. It fucking happened, guys. It happened. My VTuber hype was gone. It was like I never even debuted at all. And then when I finally got my account back, sure, we had above average numbers for a little while. But because of that week that I vanished, it just disappeared. And then I got COVID, right? You guys remember when I had COVID? I had COVID like last month, like during October. I had COVID really bad, and I had to take off streaming for like 2 weeks. Not only did I get banned, oh no, I had it during November. Not only did I get banned, but then I had COVID too, and I went off for a while. And then I had to stream at night because I was working second shift. And my numbers plummeted. It's just now that we're getting back to what we should be at, or that we're growing, that all this is happening. Do you want to know why that's happening? Because me as a creator is being extremely consistent, pumping shit out every single fucking day, making memes, making videos, doing all this stuff. I'm being consistent. It is the number one thing that you have to be when you make content. But it's almost impossible to do it perfectly. It's hard to stream every fucking day. It's hard to stream every day, especially after you've worked 10 hours at a physically draining job, okay? It's hard. People always ask me, oh, how'd you get to this point in this amount of time? Blah, blah, blah. And I say, oh, because I'm talented. Oh, and hard work, by the way. I think I have put more effort into this shit than I have put into anything my entire life combined. And I mean that when I say that. I don't just say that to say it. Like, it's not like oh, it's not a joke. I'm serious. Dead ass, fam. Bruh, dead ass. I have put more time into making content to make people laugh, to make people smile, to validate myself as a person. That's what it is for me, really. It's less about the money and stuff. It's just, I want to feel like I'm actually there affecting people and that I actually have a presence. And that might sound bad. That might sound like a narcissistic thing, and maybe it is, but I just want to feel like I'm part of people's lives. And if I can do that through comedy and acting fucking cringe online, that's perfect for me because I'm like that in real life anyway. But I don't think that this shit is immune to cocksuckers, by the way. Okay? Don't think that people in the VTubing community, quote unquote, don't think that these guys aren't fucking douchebags either, okay? I'm like middle, okay? I'm like the middle. I'm like the middle line right now. I'm between a VTuber that has very small fans to VTuber that is extremely large, right? I'm like in the middle. I'm in the middle ground. So guess what? Both of these sides don't fucking like me. There's the side that believes that I shouldn't be where I'm at so fucking quickly. And then there's the side that thinks I'm not good enough to interact with them. You see what I mean? It's like a never-ending battle. Okay? And there are people that I've talked to that like are nice. You know, I don't really have friends in the community. I don't really have friends. I was going to say I do, but I don't. But I have people that I talk to that, you know me and know who I am and stuff. And I have people that I talk to. I don't have friends per se, but I have people that I talk to. And let me tell you, I wish I had friends in the VTubing group. Because I feel like people are the strongest when they're together. And that I know I'm pretty good alone when I'm streaming. I know like I'm weird about collabs and stuff, and I would love to do collabs with people. I've always been the first person to initiate things with other VTubers. Even VTubers that are smaller than me, like way smaller than me. I'm always the first person, and I always just feel neglected. Like I'm not good enough to be talking to them, or like some people they just seem a little narcissistic. And again, who I am, I just don't understand that. I don't think the same way as they do, I guess. Like how they want a certain thing out of the friendship, or they just want to collab and then never talk again. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to hang out with. You know what I mean? And I know there'll be people in the comments, guys, that are saying like, "Oh, I'll hang out with you, Drewski." Guys, it's not that easy to make friends when you're a creator. Because the big thing for me is nobody wanted to be my friend when I wasn't a creator, and now other creators don't want to be my friend when I am a creator, and now I don't want to be on people who aren't creators friends because I just feel like the only reason they want to be my friend is because I'm a creator. It's a non-stop fucking cycle that does not stop. And there's nothing I can do about it because it's just how I feel. And again, I feel hypocritical about it and all this, but it truly is like a never-ending battle, you know? There's maybe I come off too strong. I don't know. See, I'm doubting myself. I shouldn't feel like that. I should just really try to find some friends. And that's that. Really, I should just try to find some friends. I've made a new friend. His name is Slither. He's pretty cool. We play Overwatch together and stuff. He's part of my Overwatch team. We hang out, we vibe. I met him in an interaction where he didn't know who I was, but then he found out who I was, and he was really cool, and I liked him. So, you know, we kind of just became friends, and we talk, and I'm pretty grateful for the kid because he's the only person that I can play video games with that actually plays with me, that actually likes to play with me. I feel like he's like one of the only people that will message me first as well. I don't have people that message me first. I'm always the initiator. I've said this already, but it's just nice, man. I don't know. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Pretty long one, huh? This is gonna fucking suck to render. My PC's gonna fucking start on fire. But that's fine. That's okay. So, if you guys liked the video, oh, that's fucking cringe. Why did I do that? Why am I asking for, that's fucking gross. Gay. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys liked it. I'm gonna try to make more of these. I'm sorry about that if you guys liked the video thing. That was fucking cringe. I can't believe I just said that shit. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. And remember, the most important thing in life is consistency and working on yourself. So I hope I didn't talk in circles. And I really do hope that you stick around and let's see how far we can get, okay? All right. See you later, bro. Bye-bye.